What is up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're doing something a little different, and we're going to take a break from the Mark 1 GTI. We're actually heading to Wookies in the Woods for the first time ever. It's an event that we've never been to, but we've always wanted to go. We actually also wanted to take our Mark 1 GTI that we were working on, but unfortunately we didn't make it on time. It was running and everything, but we just didn't feel completely confident with it, since we never got to test drive it or anything like that, more than a few blocks. We just didn't want to risk anything going wrong over there in North Carolina. But fortunately, we have our other Mark II with the 3.2, so we're going to be taking that along. Yeah, do you want to add anything?
I just want to say that we are super excited. It's an event that I always wanted to go since the beginning. A couple of friends always go, and seems like they have always a good time. So we're planning on doing the same. We bring our Mark II, like my son said. We're very excited. It's our first time going. I think we're gonna have a lot of fun, and we finally taking a little break after the whole COVID started. We never really take a couple of days off, like, you know, to enjoy ourselves or XLV, you know, going to a show or anything like that. So I think we're gonna have a good time. So we're gonna keep recording, I guess, a couple of clips of in the way there, and also the band. So keep watching the video. It's gonna be a fun one to watch.
So the drive to North Carolina is 10 hours. We're only 2 hours in, so we have 8 hours to go. We actually met up with our friend Juan. We were working on his R32 the last few days, getting it ready for the drive. But over there we're gonna meet a few other guys as well. We're all gonna meet up at a cabin, and for anyone who doesn't know what Wookies in the Woods is, it's mostly a gathering of our edition Golfs, basically, with a 3.2 engine. And because of the sound they make, they call the event Wookies in the Woods. So there's gonna be a bunch of R32s, 12 valve VR6s, 24 valves, and even the newer generation Rs that have the 2.0 turbo. While looking at this footage, we actually realized that this was actually the tail of the Dragon. It wasn't too much fun for our first time, as we had the car with the trailer in the back, but thankfully we were driving at the nighttime, so there were no cars coming in the opposite direction, but if there were, we were able to see their headlights just in case. But after this, what followed was 11 miles and I think around 45 minutes of driving up to the village of Fontana. First day here in Fontana, Georgia. We got some much needed rest. We filled up on food. Now we got the car to the trailer. We're gonna be heading out to, I'm not really sure where, but we're gonna be heading out of the mountains and into a small town, I think, probably to find some attractions or things like that. So we'll see what happens. thankfully we had a friend who actually lives close by here. He lives in Alabama, so he's a bit more familiar with the area. He took us over to some nice country roads on the sides of the mountains, and then we ended up at a small town, very nice small town with a lot of fancy buildings. Just looked like a really nice fancy town, and we stopped there to eat. It was all very good food, and now we're coming back. We're just filling up gas, and I think we're gonna head back to Fontana now. It's getting kind of late. I think the town was called Kayasuha. I'm not really sure. There's a lot of small towns in the area. I'm trying to look through the maps, but I can't really figure out which ones. But I think that's the one because it's the closest town. It's a pretty good size, but it was just a coincidence that we actually met with a guy who builds high horsepower Porsches in his shop, and he was actually saying that he communicates all the time with RWB based in Japan with the crazy wide body kits. Basically, he works with he does all the RWB things over here in the United States for him, and it was just such a big honor because he actually complimented our cars. He said he really liked all of them, and he said he was just a big fan of our cars. He took a few pictures. Just a really big honor. Someone just of that caliber complimenting our cars, it's unbelievable. Starting off the second day here at Wookies in the Woods with the Humble Mechanic Cruise. Basically, all the people that came here to Wookies in the Woods are going to be cruising down the tail of the Dragon. Unfortunately, I've never gotten to drive it, although we've driven through it several times. But thankfully, Juan with the Mark IV R32 with the great wheels is going to be letting me drive his Mark IV down the tail of the Dragon from on top of the mountain down, and someone else is going to take it back. But we're just filling up the tire on our Mark II R32. Unfortunately, we've been dealing with the tire leak. That's been pretty annoying. We've had to fill up every, I say, 30 minutes of driving it. But thankfully, we have a few friends with air suspension, so all we have to do is fill it up with the air compressor and we're all good. So I think we're all ready. We're gonna head down now. For anyone that doesn't know, this is the village of Fontana, and for the entirety of Wookies in the Woods, this is basically all you see. Bunch of little small cabins with a bunch of awesome cars, from Wookies, R32s, Porsches, Audis, just all kinds of cars, European mostly, and just an awesome sight. This is just the thing I needed to see right before I head down the tail of the Dragon. It's a little drizzly outside too, so definitely have to be careful.
Taking the wheel. He's actually scaring the shit out of me right now. So, but I'm having fun. It's another experience. It's a nice experience that finally we get to enjoy one of our toys. As you can see, he's going through the corners, and in a right-hand drive, it's a totally different thing. It's not as easy as I guess we used to drive with the left-hand drive, and when you jump in a car. In all these streets with the right-hand drive, it makes it a lot difficult. Well, at least I can say that. You know, I don't know for other people out there, but for me, that I have no experience driving right-hand drive before we even own these cars. So, but yeah, it's fun. We're having a good time. We're cruising right now. We're going on our way to grab some lunch with our friends, and we're gonna record when we get there, you can probably see all their cars. We've been recording. We might have a little more footage of their cars, but it's an awesome experience driving with more friends, enjoying this R32 sound. It's just amazing.
We are back at the village of Fontana. We had a lot of fun cruising down the tail of the Dragon. I was hopping in and around cars from the Mark IV R32, and I also helped my dad out with the Mark II as well, driving down. Our initial plan was to come back to get here on time for the sound off, which we thought was at 5, but it turns out that it was actually at 4:30. So we actually missed it, unfortunately. It was our first time here, so we were pretty excited to be part of that. But now we're just, I guess, enjoying the rest of the day. I'm here looking at basically where the show area is. Let me show you guys real quick. I bet you've never seen so many R's in one place at the same time. It's a special sight for sure. And if we look up here, it's a bunch of Mark IV, Mark V, R32s arranged in color, by color I mean. Starting off with the blue and then going to the left, you see a lot of silver Mark IVs. Unfortunately, all great things must come to an end. Everyone's loading up their cars right now. We're going to be heading back to Chicago tomorrow morning. If you enjoy these type of videos, please let me know so I can upload more. And as always, thanks for watching. Peace.